Hello, my name is Mateusz Michałowski, and I'm a principal engineer here at Monterail. And I wanted to talk about automatic accessibility and how GenAI and Nuxt can help describe your images. This talk, I wanted to start with a short thought exercise. So please try to imagine your favorite web page, your favorite portal without any images, only text, only plain text would be visible there for you. Well, that would be very much different experience than from what you see every day, right? But this is the situation for millions of people, and millions of people are browsing internet in that way every day. And this is what we are going to talk about today, and how to improve this situation, how we can help this. This talk will be split in these three sections. First, we will see we'll try to find out what is accessibility image and actually why bother. Then we'll see a short demo about the screen reader and how it sees images, or it does not. And then we'll try to get help from GenAI and try to find out if we can create a good automation for the description, for the creation of descriptions in practice. So when we talk about web accessibility, we cannot omit the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines created by World Wide Web Consortium. These guidelines are just prepared for us, for developers, to follow them to make sure that our web pages, that our applications are accessible for more people than just plain default stuff that could be created. There are four main principles that are outlined by these guidelines. Each of them helps your application be more accessible for more people. These principles are perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Perceivable, it means that users must be able to perceive the information that is being presented in some way. And spoiler alerts, we will focus on this one today. But what is also important, web page must be operable, and I think that this is one of the most focused on, let's say, principles, because this is all about the full accessibility when it comes to keyboard navigation around the web page. And I think that this is something that is quite often being focused on, which is good. So web page must also be understandable. So the good semantic HTML and everything should be in place. And robust. So content cannot be, malformed in any way while using some assistive technologies or user agents. So these four principles, while followed, these will create a proper accessible web page, web application. There's also one more very, very important aspect of why bother, let's say, points, and it's European Accessibility Act, EAA. It's an act that, as a goal, it's trying to harmonize and join every accessibility rules across the EU to just boost inclusivity across all the entities This is because it covers not only digital entities, but also hardware like smartphones, ATMs, ticketing machines, etc. All these entities, items must follow certain accessibility guidelines. Which is important, the full enforcement of this act was set to June 28th this year, 2025. So we are already in this mode. Yet, as we might browse some internet, some pages, and some actual hardware things, also it's not yet there. So we need a lot of work to still make it accessible more. What is important for us, it's also the baseline for the European Accessibility Act is the standard of WCAG that we were talking about on the previous slide. This is the baseline for the European Accessibility Act, and the standard that is the baseline for the act is the level of AA. So WCAG is proposing two levels of accessibility, you can say. It's A, AA, and AAA. While single A standard is very, very much basic, AA is that like good to go and very, very accessible on many levels. And the AAA is a variant where you actually have some, let's say, edge cases that needs additional work to be done. But AA is not, let's say, big deal to provide, which is important to say because, yeah, it may sound like some additional effort, which is not. It's just covering to cover all the, let's say, good practices when it comes to accessibility, and we are good to go. So, like I mentioned, we will be focusing on perceivable principle from the WCAG principles guidelines, and this is the very first point of that principle that covers actually the creation of descriptions for images. We are talking about non-text content. And here, as you can see, the goal is to have every non-text information should be available to more people. So whatever you see on the image, it should be also available for other people as some sort of description of it, right? And what to do? Well, create the text alternative for visual and auditory content. Why it's important? Simple as that. People who can't fully see or hear content can fully understand it and use it, perceive it, right? This is important aspect, and as you can see, this is the very first point that is pointed out by the WCAG guidelines, and as you can see also this is level A, single A, so this is very, very basic stuff here, right? Yet very important and quite often not covered in a good way. So I tried to figure out and describe what is image accessibility, and I joined here a couple of definitions that I found here and there. And yeah, well, this is image accessibility is the practice of making visual content usable for everyone, including people with disabilities. It ensures that users who cannot see an image due to blindness, low vision, or technical issues like slow internet can still understand the information, emotion, or function that the image is intended to convey. And this is quite straightforward to understand, right? Yet it can be omitted due to like other stuff. Like it can be omitted to just remember about this thing to be done, right? To just allow user to perceive your image, to remember that you wanted to convey something, some information via the image, yet without the alternative text, it's not that possible, that easy to do. So how we can also judge on what the image is intended to convey? Well, here comes the WCAG yet again. They created these categories, I'd say, for the images, and the way that they prepared it, I think they group all the images, possible types of images that we can put in our web applications. These are informative images, decorative, functional, images of text, complex images, groups of images, and image maps. And what is important here is that to keep in mind that nearly every single category of the images needs a description besides of decorative images. We do not want to create additional noise, cognitive noise, I'd say, when the image is supposed to just add only the visual decoration, right? Like no information is being passed via the decorative image. It should also only be visual, then the alternative text is not needed. And well, it's still hard to decide what is our image trying to do sometimes. So again, creators of the guidelines, W3C, they created this sort of a decision tree for images. On their website, it looks quite different, yet here I tried to prepare some sort of a graph of a decision tree. And as you can see here, there are only two situations where we are like free with creating an alt texts. And this is the when the text is it's for the text images, but if the text is also presented as a real text nearby, we can omit adding the alternative description. And when the image is purely decorative, it also can be omitted. Now, so how do we handle it? Well, we all know it's an ALT attribute in the image. So yeah, very important attribute for us here. And basically, what it is, it's a plan B for your visual communication. This is important because it serves not only the role of just being description for the screen readers, but it also serves as a helping hand when it comes to reading your web page by robots. But keep in mind, this is not a place to keep your SEO tags, SEO keywords. And yeah, this is the big value for the image tag. And who are we aiming to help with the alt text? Well, obviously elder people or people with disabilities and people who are using screen readers. These are quite obvious. But then also users that have slow internet connection. Well, you can imagine that when you have a very, very slow internet connection, sometimes there is a situation where when your image does not actually load due to connection issues, and then if there is no alternative text, you would not know what there should be on the image. So basically, then you're still with that plan B I mentioned earlier. So users still understand your what you wanted to convey by your image. And search engines, crawlers still tries to read the page more often than just, I don't know, perceive other way. So they are just reading it, and adding descriptions to your images helps to understand, and it's a powerful signal for the search engines about what the content is all about. And final one, this is kind of thinking up ahead, but I can think of some sort of assistant, the voice assistant that will be reading your, let's say, article while you're driving, for example, and then if it will get into the point where there is an image without the description tag, this alt tag, alt attribute. Well, it will probably, if it will be AI based, let's say, it will try to download it all and try to read it, created by itself. So let's make it easier, and let's add it by ourselves. That should be helpful, right? So going to the practical example, I've prepared this pretty much simple web page where any user can upload any image, and we'll try to hear how the screen reader here, I'm using voiceover, how the screen reader will help you perceive, user, the image that we are presenting. This is the application. Nothing actually is happening here. This is, as you may see here, this is very, very simple application. There's actually nothing in here. We just go to run this. And here we should be able to see it. Yeah. So as you can see, very simple application, right? Now let's try to hear it.
VoiceOver on Chrome. Snap wall. Share to get missing image descriptions. Open the context article. You are currently on an article. Main article. To get missing image descriptions, open the context menu. Unlabeled image. You are currently on an unlabeled image. To begin interacting with the contents of this image, press Ctrl /700. VoiceOver off.
So as you heard, this is very much problematic because user doesn't know actually what the content is all about. Like every single image here doesn't have any alt text, and yeah, these are just images, like nothing is here for people who have no idea, cannot download the images or cannot see them. They will not be able to in any way interact with the page, right? So just use it. So it's empty alt text, and the voiceover doesn't know what is on the image. So it's basically useless for that person. Yet I prepared it in the way that we can try to add this Mr. Cute Dog. And let's try to upload an image. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here we can see there is the dog.
Voiceover on Crow. Black dog that looks at camera. Image.
Maki, Dec16.
Voiceover off.
As you heard, there is already improvement because already the voiceover can read and can provide you with an information what the image is all about, right? And this is very important. So here, alt text was black dog that looks at camera. And yeah, already there is the question, can we make it better? So imagine this process to make it keep it that way as I presented with the form where users need to provide the descriptions by themselves. It's not always something that will be guaranteed, right? No, not much people will just remember about it whatsoever. We can make the field obviously required, but imagine a situation where you're deploying like 20 of images and then you force user to add description to every single of them. That would be very much a painful process for him. So in applications with the higher volume of user-generated content like this one, that will be probably recipe for accessibility failure. And yeah, well, can we make it better? I've been trying to figure it out. I've been playing with it and experimenting it. And in these days, when every single week there is a new model that is able to do something much better, much faster and cheaper, we can now try to play with some multimodal models and just to provide image to the model. And by providing them the description, the prompt, we can make it to create a description for us in automatic way. So the principle of this case would be pretty much very simple. User uploads the image, we send the image with the accurate prompt to the ADI LLM API. In response, we get a text-based description, the alt text. So we store the alt text in database. Here it will be based on the storage, but you know that's the baseline. So let's go. Let's try to do that, right? Here I have already prepared another branch that is trying to provide this. And here what I did is I've used Google Generative AI package that helped me to communicate with Gemini. Yeah, and here we have this simple post with first of all, we are using Gemini 2.5 flashlights. I played around with plenty of models. I found this one to be just do its job, be cheap, do its job, and you know, just being reliable, let's say. The prompt here is you are an accessibility expert. Generate a concise descriptive alt text for this image that would be helpful for screen reader users. The alt text should be 1-2 sentences maximum and describe the key visual elements. Only return the alt text description, nothing else. That's simple as that. So here we already see that we added here AI described element. This is just a badge that I've added here. This one is not described. Let's try to add another image. Or first, maybe, we remember that here it was totally unlabeled. And let's see.
Several love locks hang on a wire fence, with red ribbons tied around some. Black dog image. Image. Several love locks hang on a wire fence, with red ribbons tied around some. Image. You are current. Black dog that looks. Voiceover off.
So basically, all images right now have descriptions. These descriptions are created by AI. And as you may see, it was rather very fast, and it didn't take much time to get these descriptions. To be honest, I've already seen that plenty of times, and these are in very much these are very much concise and well, constant also. And these are not fluctuating that much. So yeah, it's reliable even if we go without actual persistence of them. Here, as you can see, this is generating process, and it was pretty fast, right? I know that it was only for these few images, yet still I think that it was pretty fast. So basically, that would be it. And yeah, when we are going to the through the situation where we want to use it, I called it obviously a smart image card, and this is, well, nothing special here, right? Generate alt text from here, and this is it. We are using this plain post request with the data, and yeah, so alt texts were added, good, and we are seeing everything here. As you can see, this one is from November, and the person walks past the entrance of Massey Hall, a historic building with the 3 red doors and large windows above. Let's see how it looks like currently. A woman in a black dress walks past the red doors of a Massey Hall with Massey Hall carved above. I think that it's still very nice and very accurate. So it doesn't change that much. This is obviously not persisted. I just wanted to present it in live action, but we can store it and cache it, let's say. So thank you very much for your attention. One thing that I wanted to add here is that I would like to this presentation be more of a conversation starter than a recipe of how to do anything of it. Yeah, let's keep thinking about the accessibility and let's start doing it easier ways. Thank you very much. Bye.